Commander Alex Mercer stood on the bridge of the horizon's edge, staring at the view screen. The colony world below was tiny, quiet, and fragile, floating like a jewel in the black emptiness of space. But all was not quiet. Smoke plumes rose from the surface, and flashes of explosions lit up the dark skies. The alien armada had arrived. "Status report," Mercer said, his voice calm but firm. Lieutenant Rena Voss, his tactical officer, turned from the console. "Sir, the colony's shields are failing. They have reinforced their orbital batteries. We can hold for maybe 15 more minutes before they break through." Alex clenched his jaw. 15 minutes. That was not nearly enough time. The humans stationed here were only lightly armed, mostly miners and scientists who had been pressed into defense duty. The aliens were experienced warriors with fleets that dwarfed the tiny human outpost. "Can we contact Earth fleet?" Alex asked. His heart sank. Rena shook her head. "Communications are jammed. Even if we could send a message, the nearest fleet is days away in hyperspace. They won't reach us in time." Alex took a deep breath. This was the moment he had feared most. The outpost had been considered too far from the core systems to be easily defended. He had known that if war came, reinforcements would be impossible. "Very well," he said quietly. "We hold. We do what we can with what we have. Alert the station leaders. Evacuate as many civilians as possible into shelters and shielded zones. If we fall, at least they live." Rena nodded and moved quickly. The bridge crew worked with disciplined urgency, coordinating evacuation drones and emergency signals across the colony's surface. Every second counted. Outside, alien ships swarmed like dark predators, their sleek metallic forms cutting through the void with deadly precision. Mercer leaned forward, eyes fixed on the main view screen. The alien commander, a towering figure named Jorak, appeared on a holographic projection. His skin was dark, almost metallic, and his eyes glowed like molten fire. He did not speak at first. His expression was one of cold amusement. "Humans," Jorak said finally, his voice booming through the bridge. "You are alone. Surrender, and your world will be spared. Resist, and you will be erased." Mercer straightened. He had faced aliens before, but none like Jorak's forces. Every instinct screamed to fight smart. "We will not surrender," he said firmly. "Our people are strong, and our will is stronger. If you want this world, you will have to earn it." A low growl escaped Jorak. "Then die, humans." The alien ships struck almost immediately. Beams of energy cut through the darkness, striking buildings and defensive turrets. Explosions shook the colony as alarms blared. Mercer gritted his teeth. He knew the humans here could not withstand a full assault, not with these odds. "Shields are at 20%. Rena shouted. "They're concentrating on the command hub. Divert all available power to the shields," Mercer ordered. "Fire the orbital cannons only when absolutely necessary. We cannot waste ammunition." The humans fought back with everything they had. Small fighters darted between the alien warships, firing plasma cannons in carefully planned bursts. Ground batteries fired on the approaching ships, trying to keep them at bay. But the aliens were relentless. They adapted to every tactic the humans tried. Mercer's mind raced. They were outnumbered, outgunned, and cut off from help. Still, he refused to give in. He had trained for situations like this, though never this extreme. He relied on his experience, instincts, and faith in his crew. Suddenly, the main view screen lit up with incoming fire. One of the colony's orbital batteries had exploded, sending debris crashing down. Rena shouted, "They've destroyed our primary defense." Mercer slammed his fist on the console. "Hold the line. Evacuate civilians to the inner bunkers. We fight for every second." The horizon's edge weaved between enemy beams, returning fire with precise strikes. Every movement was calculated, every shot counted. Rena's hands flew over the controls, her mind a blur of calculations and tactical decisions. The bridge crew worked like a single organism, perfectly coordinated despite the chaos surrounding them. But then a warning blared. A massive alien warship had dropped out of hyperspace just above the colony. Its size was immense, dwarfing the station below. Its weapons glowed with lethal energy, ready to obliterate everything. "They've brought the heavy hitters," Rena said, her voice tense. "If that ship fires, we are finished." Alex felt a wave of despair. He knew there was no way to destroy that ship with the weapons they had. Their only hope was to survive until reinforcements arrived. Different reinforcements ever came. He gripped the edge of the console and closed his eyes for a brief moment, centering himself. "Listen to me," he said firmly. "We survive. That is our mission. Evacuate every civilian we can. Fight with every ounce of skill and courage. The aliens will not take this world easily." Rena nodded, determination burning in her eyes. "Yes, Commander. We will hold." For hours, the humans fought desperately. The aliens advanced relentlessly, testing every weak point. The colony shook with explosions, fires raging across the surface. The defenders used every trick they knew, from decoy drones to magnetic pulse traps. Still, the alien fleet pressed forward, their numbers overwhelming. Alex moved from station to station, encouraging the crews, checking shield generators, and coordinating counterattacks. Every time he thought a section of the colony was lost, a human crew would find a way to push back, buying precious minutes. At one point, he glanced at the view screen and saw civilians huddled in the inner bunkers, frightened but alive. That sight gave him strength. Humanity had faced impossible odds before, and they had survived. They would not give up now. Suddenly, Rena's console beeped with a strange signal. "Commander, incoming message." "It's a fleet jump." "I don't recognize the signature. Could it be reinforcements?" Alex's heart leaped, but he forced himself to stay calm. "Patch it through." The view screen flickered and then showed a massive human fleet emerging from hyperspace. Ships of every size and type appeared, their hulls gleaming under the light of nearby stars. At the front was a massive flagship, the Indomitable, its presence commanding and awe-inspiring. "Commander Mercer," a voice rang out from the fleet command. "We received your distress call. Earth's fleet is here. Hold your position. We will engage the enemy." Alex felt a surge of hope he hadn't experienced in hours. The tide of battle might finally turn. He turned to Rena, his face breaking into a rare smile. "Looks like we're not alone after all," Rena smiled, though fatigue lined her face. "The humans are here. They won't let this colony fall." The alien commander Jorak appeared on the holographic projection again, his expression darkening. "Reinforcements? Impossible. No human fleet could reach this far. This changes nothing. They will die." Alex ignored him. "We fight," he said, gripping the console. "We survive, and humanity will not be defeated." As the first ships of Earth's fleet joined the battle, lasers and plasma beams filled the void. The combined force of the frontier defenders and the reinforcements pushed back against the alien armada. Explosions lit up space like fireworks, and for the first time, humans had a real chance. Yet even as hope grew, Alex knew the fight was far from over. The aliens were many, and their fury was unyielding. The frontier world's survival depended on every human in that small sector holding together, using skill, courage, and determination, and humanity would not fail. In the darkness of space, under the cold light of distant stars, one truth became clear. The humans of Earth could be pushed to the edge, cornered, even outnumbered. But when they fought together, when they refused to surrender, they became unstoppable, and the battle for the frontier had only just begun. The void of space erupted with energy. Earth's fleet had arrived, and the alien armada froze, stunned by the sudden appearance of ships far larger and more advanced than the frontier humans had ever seen. Commander Alex Mercer watched from the bridge of the horizon's edge as Earth's flagship, the Indomitable, led the formation with calm authority. Its hull gleamed like a silver blade under the distant starlight, and its presence alone seemed to demand respect. Lieutenant Rena Voss tapped her console rapidly. "Commander, they're forming a battle line. The alien vanguard is reacting, but they seem hesitant. They weren't expecting this." Alex nodded. "Good. Keep our defenses up, but hold off firing until the fleet engages. Let them see our strength. The human small ships and the massive Earth fleet coordinated with impressive efficiency. Fighters streaked out of hangars, weaving between alien cruisers and firing plasma bursts with pinpoint accuracy. Energy beams lanced across the void, striking alien hulls and creating spectacular explosions. In the middle of the chaos, Commander Mercer felt a surge of pride. He had fought countless battles in his career, but this was unlike anything he had ever seen. Humans fighting together, combining frontier ingenuity with Earth's elite fleet tactics, formed a force that was truly unstoppable. On the alien side, Commander Jorak's fury grew. He had expected the humans to be cornered, desperate, and weak. Instead, they now had allies and an entire fleet capable of matching his forces ship for ship. He growled through the holographic communication channel. Impossible. They cannot have reached this system so quickly. Attack anyway. Crush them before they organize. But his forces hesitated. The sight of massive human warships, bristling with weapons and perfectly coordinated, was intimidating. The alien fleet had never seen humans fight like this. A fear began to ripple through their ranks. Alex's voice was calm over the comms. All units, engage in defensive formations around the colony. Protect civilians and station infrastructure while the fleet engages. We cannot allow them to reach the planet's surface. The battle began in earnest. Human squadrons executed complex maneuvers, flanking alien ships, disabling weapons, and drawing fire away from the colony. Frontier tactics merged with fleet precision. Small human fighters weaved between alien cruisers, striking weak points the aliens didn't even realize existed. Explosions erupted across the battlefield as ships collided and energy blasts lit up space like fireworks. Rena's fingers moved faster than thought. Commander, the alien command ship is isolated. If we can hit it, we can disrupt their entire formation. Alex's eyes narrowed. Plot a course. Prepare a strike team. I want that ship disabled, not destroyed. We need intelligence on their strategy. Small group of elite fighters, including some volunteers from the colony, launched toward the alien command ship. They dodged energy beams, weaving through debris and explosions. Each pilot moved with courage and skill, their training and human instinct guiding them perfectly. Inside the alien command ship, Jorak barked orders. Destroy them. They will regret crossing us. But his crew faltered. Every attempt to target the human fighters failed, as if the humans anticipated their moves before they were made. Back on the horizon's edge, Alex watched the strike unfold. They've reached the ship, he said quietly. Good, now disable it. A massive blast shook the alien vessel as the human strike team fired a specially designed pulse that scrambled the alien. Watch ship's energy systems. Lights flickered. Weapons went offline, and the ship's shields weakened. Gorak's roar echoed through the void. They dare. He bellowed. No matter. We have numbers, but numbers alone could not save them. The human fleet pressed the advantage. Earth's flagship unleashed volleys of coordinated fire, cutting through alien lines with surgical precision. Smaller human vessels exploited every opening, striking where the aliens were weakest. On the bridge of the horizon's edge, Rena leaned forward. Commander, the alien formation is breaking. They're retreating. Alex allowed himself a brief smile. Excellent. But we must remain cautious. They are retreating, yes, but this may be a trap. He was right. Jorak, humiliated and enraged, had one final tactic. From the outer sectors, a massive reinforcement fleet was approaching. Their numbers were immense, enough to crush the human fleet if caught unprepared. The situation could change in moments, Commander Rena said urgently. New ships detected. Far larger than any we've seen so far. They're approaching from the uncharted sector. Alex's jaw tightened. Prepare all units. Shields at maximum. Fleet commanders coordinate defense lines and protect the colony at all costs. We may have won this round, but the real battle is coming. The alien reinforcements emerged from hyperspace like a wave of darkness. Their ships were enormous, each bristling with weaponry that could annihilate entire cities. Even Earth's elite fleet paused, calculating the best approach. The humans had not faced numbers like this before, yet they did not hesitate. Discipline, courage, and ingenuity guided every human. Alex devised a bold plan. "We divide our forces," he instructed. "Frontline engages the main fleet. Secondary squads perform flanking maneuvers. Use our smaller ships to harass and distract. The enemy may be larger, but they will not see us coming." Rena nodded, a determined glint in her eyes. "Understood, Commander? We fight for survival and for our people." The battle escalated. Alien weapons lit the void with beams of deadly energy, while humans dodged and countered with astonishing precision. Fighters darted through massive warships, striking vital systems and creating chaos in the enemy ranks. Explosions shook the battlefield. The cold darkness of space was lit by flashes of fire and energy. In the midst of the chaos, Alex led a daring assault directly at the alien command vessel. Using a small fleet of fast, agile ships, he maneuvered through enemy fire, taking advantage of every weakness he could see. Rena guided him through precise calculations, plotting trajectories and anticipating enemy movements. The humans breached the alien command ship's outer defenses. Boarding teams prepared to infiltrate, aiming to capture the vessel or at least disable its weapon systems. Alex's voice rang through the comms. "Hold steady. Once we breach, we move quickly. No hesitation." The boarding action was swift and precise. Humans moved through corridors with disciplined efficiency, avoiding traps and neutralizing alien crews. Within moments, they had control over key systems. Energy shields flickered, weapons went offline, and the alien fleet's coordination faltered, back on the horizon's edge. Alex watched as the alien formation began to crumble. Even Jorak's massive reinforcement fleet hesitated. Human determination, skill, and unity were turning the tide. "Commander, they're retreating again," Rena shouted, relief in her voice. Alex allowed himself a smile, though he knew the fight was far from over. "Good, but stay alert. The enemy will regroup. This is only one battle in a war." As the alien ships pulled back, the humans pressed their advantage carefully. Fighters harassed retreating vessels, and the fleet maintained pressure without overextending. Earth's commanders coordinated every move, ensuring that no ship or civilian would be left vulnerable. In the quiet moments between bursts of energy fire, Alex turned to Rena. "You see, Lieutenant, this is what humans do. We fight together, we think, we adapt, we survive. That is our strength," Rena nodded. "And our courage? Even the impossible can be challenged if we stand as one." Alex glanced at the colony below. Smoke still rose and fires burned, but the people were alive. The humans of Earth and the frontier had stood united against overwhelming odds, and they had succeeded. For now, yet in the depths of space, Gorak's eyes burned with rage. He would return. He would find a way to crush the humans. But for today, humanity had shown its true strength. The void was quiet again, except for the distant hum of human engines and the damaged alien vessels drifting away. The battle had been fierce, and the cost had been high, but the humans had won. They had proven that even when outnumbered, their courage, intelligence, and unity could overcome any threat. Commander Alex Mercer allowed himself a moment of pride. The frontier world had survived. Earth's fleet had proven that it could arrive when most needed, and humanity's legend had grown. But as he stared into the dark expanse of space, he knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy was vast, and enemies lurked in every shadow. The humans had made their mark, but countless battles still awaited. For now, though, the victory was theirs. And for humanity, that was enough to ignite hope in the hearts of every soldier, every civilian, and every human across the stars. The fight was far from over. But the humans had reminded the galaxy why Earth's fleet was feared and why humanity could never be counted out. Commander Alex Mercer stood on the bridge of the horizon's edge, his eyes fixed on the view screen. The alien reinforcement fleet loomed ahead, massive and menacing, stretching farther than the eye could see. Even the combined forces of Earth's fleet and the frontier defenders looked small against such numbers. But Alex did not falter. Humanity had survived impossible odds before, and they would survive again. Lieutenant Rena Voss leaned over the console, tracking enemy movements. "Commander, they're forming a full assault pattern. If they hit us directly, even the Indomitable could be in danger." Alex clenched his jaw. "Then we make them hit us where we want them to. Prepare all units for tactical maneuvers. We divide, distract, and strike at their weakest points. Human ingenuity will win this fight." Rena looked at him with admiration. "I never tire of seeing your plans in action, Commander." Alex allowed himself a brief smile. "Then let's make history." The human fleet moved like a living organism. Smaller ships darted between alien cruisers, drawing fire and confusing the enemy. Larger warships formed defensive lines around the colony, shielding civilians and vital installations. Every maneuver was precise, every strike calculated. Fighters engaged the flanks. Alex ordered, "Harass them from multiple directions. Make them divide their forces." Human pilots responded with courage and skill. Squadrons weaved through alien fire, striking weak points, and creating openings for larger ships to exploit. Energy beams lit up the void, and explosions echoed across space. The humans fought with a rhythm born of discipline, experience, and unwavering determination. Inside the alien flagship, Commander Jorak banged his fists on the console. "Why won't they break? How can humans fight like this?" His officers cowered. The humans' tactics were unlike anything the aliens had seen. They could anticipate movements, adapt instantly, and exploit weaknesses with deadly precision. Fear began to ripple through the alien ranks. Alex spotted a critical vulnerability. One of the alien warships, the size of a small moon, had an exposed energy core flaw invisible to anyone who did not know where to look. He turned to Rena. "There," he said, pointing at the view screen. "That ship is their key. Disable it, and we disrupt their entire fleet." Rena nodded quickly. "I'll coordinate a strike team. Fast ships only, with precision charges. We hit the core and get out before they can react." A squadron of elite fighters, including volunteers from the frontier colony, launched toward the massive vessel. They dodged energy beams, magnetic fields, and debris from previous strikes. Moving with speed and skill that seemed almost impossible, Alex followed every moment of the strike with intense focus. "Hold steady," he muttered. "Stay sharp. One wrong move could cost lives." The strike team reached the alien ship's core. Precision charges were placed with expert timing, and the pilots raced back through enemy fire. A massive explosion erupted inside the alien vessel, sending shockwaves across the battlefield. Energy systems failed, weapons went offline, and the alien formation wavered. Jorak's roar echoed through space. "Impossible. How could humans find our weakness?" But Alex remained calm. "It's called observation, planning, and courage. That is what makes us human." The alien fleet faltered, their coordination broken. Humans seized the advantage immediately. Earth's flagship, the Indomitable, unleashed a barrage of fire that cut through the enemy ranks, while smaller vessels attacked from unexpected angles. Each alien ship, disabled or destroyed, added to the chaos in their fleet. Rena's console beeped. "Commander, boarding teams report success. Key systems are under our control. We can redirect their ships or neutralize them completely." Alex nodded, feeling a surge of pride. "Excellent work. All units, press the advantage. Drive them back." The alien fleet began a slow, disorganized retreat. Their morale had shattered. Humans were fighting not just with weapons, but with unity and intelligence. They had turned the tide of a battle that had seemed impossible. Yet Alex knew the fight was not over. A few alien warships remained, heavily armed and dangerous. He gathered his senior officers on the bridge. "We finished this properly. Do not underestimate the survivors. We strike together, decisively, and make sure this colony and humanity survives." Rena nodded. "Understood. All units, prepare for final assault." The human fleet executed a coordinated attack. Fighters and warships moved as one, striking simultaneously from multiple directions. Alien ships attempted to regroup, but it was too late. Humans exploited every weakness, avoided every trap, and advanced with unyielding determination. Alex personally led a squadron toward the remaining alien flagship. They weaved through debris and fire, moving closer with each calculated maneuver. Boarding teams prepared to take control of the vessel once they breached the outer defenses. Inside the alien flagship, Ruach realized the hopelessness of the situation. His forces were disorganized, key ships were disabled, and the humans had control of critical systems. He growled in frustration. "We are not defeated. Retreat is only temporary." But the alien crew was demoralized. Fear had spread. Many refused to follow orders, instead fleeing in smaller vessels. The human strike had not just damaged ships, it had broken their will to fight. Alex's boarding teams reached the core of the flagship. Every corridor was cleared with precision. Every resistance neutralized quickly. Within moments, the vessel was under human control. Systems were reprogrammed to prevent further destruction, and critical intelligence was secured. Back on the horizon's edge, Rena looked at the view screen. "Commander, the remaining alien forces are retreating in full. The battle is won." Alex allowed himself a long, deep breath. The weight of command, the stress, the fear, it all lifted slightly. "Good. Maintain pursuit only if safe. Otherwise, focus on the colony. Our people must come first." As the human fleet turned back toward the colony, the true cost of the battle became clear. Debris floated in the void, and many ships were damaged or destroyed. But the frontier world remained intact, its civilians safe. Its infrastructure mostly preserved thanks to the human fleet's discipline and skill. Alex walked across the bridge, surveying the crew. Each face showed exhaustion, but also pride. Humans had faced a nearly impossible situation, outnumbered and outgunned, and yet they had triumphed. He paused and spoke to the entire bridge crew. "Today, you have all shown the world what humanity is capable of. Courage, intelligence, and unity have won the day. We fought together, we adapted, and we survived. That is the strength of our species." Rena smiled. "We've made history, Commander. The frontier will remember this victory for generations." Alex nodded. "And so will the rest of the galaxy. Humanity will not be underestimated again." On the colony below, people began emerging from shelters, cautiously at first, then with growing relief and hope. The fires were being put out, repairs were being organized, and the survivors looked to the sky. Seeing the retreating alien forces and the returning human fleet, for the first time in hours or days there was peace. Humanity had endured. Humanity had won. And they had proven that, even in the most desperate situations, their courage and unity could overcome any challenge. In his quarters later, Alex looked at the stars. He knew the galaxy was vast and dangerous. Other threats would come. Other battles would follow. But humanity had sent a clear message. When humans fought together, they could not be defeated. Rena entered quietly. "Commander, rest for a moment. You've earned it." Alex allowed himself a small smile. "Thank you, Lieutenant. But the next challenge is always waiting. Still, for today, we celebrate." The two stood together, looking out at the stars. Far away, the damaged alien forces fled, a reminder of the victory humans had earned. The frontier world had survived thanks to courage, intelligence, and the arrival of Earth's fiercest fleet. Humanity had proven once again that it could meet any challenge, adapt and prevail, and in the endless darkness of space. One thing was certain: humans would never be underestimated. For today, humanity had triumphed. Tomorrow, they would be ready for whatever the galaxy sent their way.